they're also protecting
Is Paul Daniels
tourism.
indigenous? Because if Paul Daniels is not indigenous, he's going to be next. Sweet mercy. As they toss him into a chipper shredder, grinder, whatever they call it. This is the same mentality that's going to get people like Paul Daniels tossed into a chipper shredder.
No, they're talking about animals. They're not talking about people.
Yeah, for now.
No, they're not going to do that.
For now.
People are like, oh, we gotta save the cats. Why? Because they're cats, because they're cute. And it's like, hello, if there's actually a big push to save native species and you have an overexplosion of cats, I see it as a numbers thing. I don't get emotionalizes.
Not emotional, they're just numbers. Just put barcodes on them.
No.
Why don't you put barcodes on them next?
No, but what I'm saying, that you understand what I'm saying though. I'm not gonna be all like, oh, okay, well the only species we should protect at all costs are cats. Like, there comes in it. Oh, look at this. Vermont cheese, people. You want to come over here? People.
There's no lunch here. Next place I stop, I want to go to get lunch.
Oh.
You want to stop at every store that sells maple syrup, Verge.
Just want the chicken.
Or you want to stop at every place that sells maple syrup. You want a pile of maple syrup and brownies and cookies.
No, I just want the chicken out.
Cookies and cream pie. Let's stop at the next place that's got food. Real food.
Oh, we passed by a few places.
We passed by a diner that looked like the Garfield comics Dirty Spoon. All these roads that you got not being interstates, it's a big adjustment. You like winding around the mountain, Erica? Left, right. Sorry I didn't have it on roll before, Erica. You deserve roll. Turn. You can remind me, because I have it on hold for the first 20 minutes until the battery dies. Until the battery dies a little bit. And then I put it on roll. Turn. Tis the season, turn. Vermont's a wide state. It's crazy that there's no real highway here.
This is the highway now.
This is Route 9. I mean, like one of the straight things. There's just
Oh, yeah, because you gotta mount
60, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, because you gotta go around.
Sounds like an excuse. I bet Elon would just make a
Straight.
tunnel, and then he'd say it's going to be done in 2 weeks. And in 10 years from now, he'd be calling you a pedophile if you asked him why it's not done yet.
Watch out. Construction on road ahead.
Never tell me to watch out in that voice again. Oh, yeah, that's in my... I have Waze open because it gives me alerts that the car doesn't.
That's why you never talk to me in that voice again.
She's scared to piss at me.
Well, yeah, she made you watch out. Did she know? Can you imagine if you had, like, Paul Daniels talking to you? Watch out.
Sweet mercy.
Instruction ahead. Like, you would not pay attention to it at
In
all.
1 mile, then right onto Molly Stark Trail.
What is this? Can I go around this? Oh. Shit.
I look? You want me to go out the car and check?
Nah. I mean, I can't go this way because this is a two-way road.
Yeah, but if you have clearance, you can.
There's no clearance. This car is actively coming though.
Right now, yeah.
The map also knows that this area is red traffic. And then afterwards, there's no traffic. A fine time to drink some water. Some liquid refreshment. How many peanuts did you get?
Just 2.
Erica!
What?
Get the fuck... What are you
Okay,
doing?
he's opening.
What are you
Moving.
doing?
That was gonna be like this.
You get out literally right as he starts moving.
I know.
You giant troll.
Yeah, but I would have just gone freaking in front of him.
Yeah.
I would have said, like, let's see how it looks like in front.
You have to see that he is...
What?
You have to see that he's moving as
He
you're
saw
getting
the
out the car.
drug dealer tinted window open, the door open. He was like, oh,
Let
God.
everybody go.
I know.
They're digging, Erica. They're digging for gold.
Yeah, I want to just
They're probably digging a ditch to put all the cats in after you.
What?
After they all get murdered. The angry Hawaiian.
Oh, whatever.
You do very well in Australia's government, Erica.
What?
Murdering all the animals you don't like. I gotta see you
What do you
looking
mean
at
murdering the animals I don't
I gotta
like?
see you looking at Clinton. The next time he meows and yells at you, just going, yeah, you're next, mofo. I could see that.
No, like I said, indoor cats, no problem.
You staring at Clinton. Like the next time he threatens you or he yells, "Ow!" Looking at him with that. You're on the list now.
What? I could never put a cat like Oreo on a list. I'd be like, he's a rescue. It's like, plus, when you look at a cat like Oreo, you know for 100% this is not an outdoor cat. He's so tubby and he kind of, when he runs, he kind of wobbles. Yeah. He's so cute though. Sometimes I feel like I cheer that cat on like he's and I'm like, come on Oreo, you can do it. You can get it.
Oh, studio and gallery.
I'm very proud of him. Came a
Now
long
bear
way.
right onto Molly Stark Trail.
There's the sheriff over there, Erica. The Vermont sheriff. How do you feel with the roll setting on it? Better? And I apologize for leaving it on hold. That wasn't very nice that I forgot that. Next time I'll remember.
I didn't even notice it was on hold.
Maybe that means I'm becoming a better driver.
Okay.
Maybe that means Erica has resigned her fact of feeling sick while traveling. Probably that. You notice that? See when I let off, it rolls a little nicer. It's not as regenerative braking, just not as much.
This feels more like hold right now.
Really?
Yeah. I guess maybe the pavement is so aggressive.
This is not a nice road. We've left the state with no income and sales tax, and we've entered the state with income and sales tax, and the roads are worse. That's hysterical.
Why do you remember Vermont now? Dumb question, well, what's the big difference between Vermont and New Hampshire?
New Hampshire believes in the concept of live free or die, which is why they have 2.2 to 2.4% property tax on homes across the state. I think it's a meme. It's more libertarian it's much more libertarian in New Hampshire.
Oh yeah. The only reason why I ask is when I look at it, it's like they're selling basically Vermont. So it looks like they have more maple syrup stores, but Vermont, New Hampshire, is kind of like the same stuff. Jams, jellies, maple
about to eat or Taco Bell.
I don't feel like eating it yesterday night. I was so tired. I was cramping bad. Womanly problem.
Look at this. Damn. It's all carbs. It's
Yeah.
mostly tortilla. They don't really give you anything on the inside.
Yeah, carbs. What you doing?
Breakfast.
No, at Taco Bell.
Same thing. I don't order a different thing for you and me. When I go to the store, if I get food for someone, I ask if they want what I'm getting, and I'll get it for them, and I'll pay for it. But it has to be the same thing as what I'm getting. Because I don't have the memory to be able to remember what they want and what I want. It doesn't work, of course.
Was it busy?
I was the only one there. It was midnight in the middle of rural New Hampshire.
They were like, man, that New York drug dealer needs his Taco Bell.
No drug dealers drive Teslas. At least not white ones. That would have been funny if that thing turned right into my car. I was this close to getting smashed into by that construction.
What is a drug dealer car anywhere?
I don't know. I imagine really, really, really hard things. That guy is actually holding a slow sign. There's the sheriff. The sheriff deals with people that ignore the hold sign.
Coca-Cola is one of those trucks that go on this road to deliver Coca-Cola to the rest of this country. One day, I know this sounds terrible, but one day I hope for these like big cars. I really hope that there's auto drive.
After York is done killing all of the kittens, she will kill the career of every truck driver in New York.
Oh, I only say that because if you had that capability, it would be easier. Or better yet, have it like, you know how you have it for your Tesla, autopilot?
Mm.
Like that would be nice, right? That way you wouldn't have to manually steer for hours upon hours.
That's what keeps you awake. If you weren't doing this, you'd lose your mind. I think. It's got to be really hard to maneuver.
Can you imagine when you go on those like little itty bitty roads?
I mean, also if that guy swerves, that's just tipping over.
Yep.
Why is it that having a mouth like a trucker is seen as to be a bad thing? How did that start? People, all different types of people curse, not just truckers.
I don't know how it started, but I think when they think about truckers, they think about low-class individuals.
That's not very nice.
No, but that's what it kind of alludes to, right?
They do a job that is necessary for society to function.
Yeah,
We would be stuck in the Stone Ages without truckers.
exactly.
Genuine Stone Ages.
Yeah. But sometimes I think people see truckers and they don't realize how essential they are to society. All the little, all the stuff at Walmart, truckers. Okay. So food at McDonald's, truckers. Food at Taco Bell, truckers. Maple syrup, truckers. Frick, even animals, meat, that kind of stuff, truckers. Office supply, truckers. I think trucking is one of those really thankless jobs. Comes off as thankless because like no one sees you. You just kind of work alone. And the only time we really hear about truckers is if there's a trucker shortage or if there's an accident with trucking. Like something tipped over, blocked the highway or something like that.
There's horses for the next thing.
Yeah. They also have like truck rest stops. Oh my gosh, must be something.
Car. 1992 Pontiac Grand Am cassette. 1992 Pontiac Grand Am cassette. Here we go.
Pontiac would like to thank you for choosing a 1992 Grand Am and welcomes you to driving excitement. Whether you've selected an SE or GT, a coupe or sedan, your Grand Am combines exciting performance with the sleek styling and high-tech engineering you expect from a Pontiac.
Quality features like anti-lock brakes,
Does anybody expect
illuminated
quality
entry,
engineering
and a
from General
multi-port
Motors?
fuel-injected engine, along with a comfortable driver-oriented interior, give your Grand Am a look and feel usually associated with more expensive cars.
This program will help you get acquainted with the features and controls of your new Grand Am. To benefit most, we recommend you park and follow along. Remember, this is just an overview. Your owner's manual will provide a more in-depth look at all your car's features. Now, let's get started.
What's an owner's manual?
Soft fascia front and rear bumpers protect your Grand Am and blend smoothly with its flowing lines. Plus, aero body front, side, and rear skirts are standard on GT models. Wide-body side moldings help protect your Grand Am from parking lot dings and scrapes.
Superior rust and corrosion protection is provided by two-sided galvanized steel body panels. A stainless steel exhaust system and a clear coat of paint will help keep your Grand Am looking showroom new. Chrome-tipped dual exhaust outlets provide a finishing accent to GT models.
Under the hood, SE models offer a standard 2.3 single overhead cam engine with multi-port fuel injection. This engine delivers 120 horsepower and 135 foot-pounds torque and has a special induction system that reduces engine noise. Multi-port fuel injection delivers confident starting and smooth acceleration in all types of weather.
The standard GT power team combines a 5-speed manual transmission with a 2.3-liter multi-port fuel-injected high-output Quad 4 engine, which delivers 180 horsepower and 160 foot-pounds torque. You get 4 valves per cylinder, a tuned cast aluminum intake manifold, and an integrated direct-fire ignition system.
If you equipped your Grand Am with a 2.3-liter high-output Quad 4 engine and a 3-speed automatic transmission, your power team belts out 160 horsepower and 155 foot-pounds torque.
Or you may have selected a 3.3-liter V6 engine with a 3-speed automatic transmission. This multi-port fuel-injected engine delivers 160 horsepower and 185 foot-pounds torque.
Your standard power rack and pinion steering may be enhanced with the available variable effort feature. This system provides extra assistance at low speeds, making parking easier, and reduces steering assist at higher speeds to give you a better feel of the road.
Independent strut coil spring front suspension provides sure-footed handling under the most demanding conditions. Semi-independent coil spring rear suspension helps the rear wheels track through turns with impressive stability. A standard front stabilizer bar helps minimize body roll in tight turns and further contributes to superior handling.
Professional building.
A host of standard safety features use some of the latest technology. For example, your standard anti-lock power front disc and rear drum brakes are monitored by an onboard computer to provide sure-footed stopping power. The anti-lock brake system.
What is this? This has to be a meme. Really? Professional building, Erica. What do you think?
Oh, wait, it says danger, construction area, keep out. It's a work in progress.
No, like professional building. Professional what? Professional what?
It's a short.
No. I didn't make it as a short. Look, another dead one. Silverado. The Vermont house. What's this little neighborhood? What's this little quaint neighborhood?
AC Gifts. Car
Wilmington, Vermont. Motorcycles. The Wilmington Inn, no vacancy. Vermont Bowl Company. It actually gets hot with the window open. I appreciate this tent. I learned to appreciate this when I have the window open and I have the sun on me. I think I would get a tent on any car that I buy. Now into the future. I like my tent. My drug dealer tent. What's your E noise? The vintage motel. Look at the house to the left, Erica.
Yeah, it's on keep out over there.
You see it?
Yeah, it's on.
The one
It's
that it's chopped in two.
Yeah, it said keep out. cedar log homes.
I remember when I got stainless steel water made me think that my car was broken. So what the hell is that rattling? You piece of shit Tesla. The windmills are back.
Yeah.
Thank you, truckers.
That's nice.
Well, look to your left. You got to enjoy this while it's there. Okay.
Pretty, giant lake.
Oh, this is pretty. It's a giant Chevy Suburban in the backyard over there. Chevy. Chevy Chase. You think I'd be a good truck driver, or do you think I'd have my truck tipped over on the first day?
Yeah, I think you'd be okay. But I wouldn't be surprised if you ran over something.
Like what? A squirrel?
Or you cause your truck to jump over because you try to avoid a squirrel.
Mm.
Then your truck flipped. And you caused a block on the highway for a couple hours. I can see that. What happened? You didn't want to hit a squirrel.
Brake system, or ABS, monitors each wheel as you brake, then modulates each brake.
You need to sound like that for my video start.
Let's go to James in Charlotte. Hey James, what's going on?
How y'all doing today?
Remarkable. How about you, man?
I'm pretty deflated, to be honest with you.
I'm sorry to hear that. What's up, brother?
So, me and my wife started off last year doing the Dave Ramsey plan and was on David Step 2. We had $105,000 approximately of consumer debt and IRS debt, and we got that down to about $43,000. And
Hey, hold on.
about eight.
Hold on real quick. You paid off 60 grand in a year?
Yes, we make between 110 to 120,000 a year.
Okay, I know you're deflated right now. We're gonna get through that, but I want to take 1 second and just say, that's what's up. Congratulations. That's awesome.
I appreciate it.
$60-something thousand. It's incredible. All right, so
Mountain cell phone service has entered the chat. I have a bar.
8 more.
I guess this takes a left turn here somewhere, right?
Yeah, about 6 months ago, we went through a...
The truck has hazard lights on and it's going about half
had
the
to
speed.
hire a lawyer and go through all the legal procedures with that.
What kind of issue? What kind of issue?
Idea is this issue with my kid,
Okay.
and so we lost all 3 of our kids and had to get them back and went through all that stuff.
What happened?
My kid went to school and basically used a imaginative
They thought I was going to hit that truck.
and they took it seriously and pursued DSS, and they basically took us through the ringer for no reason.
And so DSS is the Department of Child Protective Services in your area?
Yes.
Okay, and so they reported some sort of abuse of some sort, and they came in and did an emergency removal?
Yeah.
Okay, and then y'all went through getting an attorney and fighting to get your kids back?
Yeah, and we did get our kids back about a month ago or so.
How long were they gone from you?
About 2 months.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's
Driveway, right?
Yeah, we haven't really got over that part of it yet, and my kids haven't either. They're not really the same now either. We're going through the home counseling thing we're doing.
So how can we help, man?
So I've lost that $8,000 through that process, which I don't think that's I would spend another $8,000 to get my kids back. But it just threw me off track, and especially with the economy now with inflation, when I do my budget, I'm just not motivated no more.
So on the back end of the trauma you and your family have just experienced, you went to fight, flight, you fought for your kids, you went sprinting after them to protect them, you got everybody back in the house, and that snow globe of your home has been shaken. Not having motivation is totally. I want y'all to grieve this thing together, lean into that counseling, and then you and your wife are going to have to excavate what was and build something new. You're a family that's experienced trauma. Right before the break, we took a call from James in Charlotte, North Carolina. James him and his wife were on the same page, and they were just crushing $100,000 worth of debt. And we ran right up against the break there, James, and so I'm glad that you hung on the line, because I want to circle back a little bit. You guys had paid off $60,000 a year, and for any number of reasons, chunk of money, $8,000 with attorneys and fighting for your kids, which, as you noted, you would have spent you would have spent $100,000 to get those kids back in your home. But now you're in the big exhale, right? Things feel like they're in ash. Am I right?
That's right.
So walk us through what's going on in your home.
Financially?
No. I'm talking about the spirit of your house right now. Is everybody deflated and a little bit terrified and exhausted and mad and all those things hurt?
Yeah, and a little bit of everything, and scared of not knowing what to expect. You always expect another call or visit from DSS.
Okay.
And what's happening in that school when he goes to school. I mean, it's just what he's going through and the guilt he feels. We try not to make him feel good about it. But I mean, he's 8 years old, so he does feel a little bit and understands a little bit of the repercussions, but not all of it.
Sure. And what about the other kids in their home? Are they upset with you guys, with them, with everybody?
Well, it was another kid involved was 5 years old and then a 1-year-old.
Okay.
And the 1-year-old, we kind of lost a little bit of bonding time with him and a little bit of development delays because he wasn't in our care. And the 5-year-old was going through a bunch of separation anxiety. So we're getting him treated for that as well.
How long were they gone?
Right at 2 months.
2 months.
And normally we don't even go a night without them. We don't pawn our kids off and go and have fun. We normally just do family stuff all the time. We're not working. So they're not used to being away from us, so we're not used to being away from them.
And this is one of those hard things because you're a parent of 3 young kids, and you, as someone who loves your kids and probably the children that your kids associate with, you want a group of people that will kick the door in and protect children from bad parents, right?
Yeah, because I was a foster kid.
There you go.
And,
you want that service, and at the same time, you're on the other end of a misunderstanding. And there's that. Thank God there's a group of people like that out in the world, and oh my gosh, my family just suffered trauma, major trauma.
Yes.
How's your marriage?
Our marriage is pretty good. If it wasn't good, I don't think we would have made it through the 2 months.
Okay. Everybody in a marriage after a situation like this, people grieve differently. How are y'all grieving?
My wife took it really hard, and I was more on the anger side. So like when she would cry, I would like try to shut that down. And I didn't let her grieve like I should have, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I just, cause like I feel like if I would have got to the point of the crying and stuff, like I would have lost everything and my emotional well-being, and I couldn't let that happen at the time because I had a fight ahead of me. I couldn't, you know what I mean? So I don't think I went through the grieving process correctly, and I don't think I'm let her do that as well.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do. You got all 3 kids back. How long have y'all been back together?
I said a month, but I think it's about 2 months now because we just did our family vacation a weekend ago.
Okay, how was that?
It was pretty good, just rushed, but I felt like it would kind of put my kids in a better place emotionally.
So before I start answering questions that I want to answer, how can I help you, brother?
So like I could be debt free tomorrow. The only thing holding me back is 2 different homes.
Okay.
And where I put myself, and then like when I budget to do that, like every little setback now, like I guess because the anticipation of something coming up now, it just like I can't go all in no more. Like I feel like I gotta hold back and wait to see what else is gonna happen.
How honest do you want me to be with you?
100%.
Okay. Somewhere along the way, probably when you were 1 or 2 years old, 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, 9 or 10 years old, you learned I cannot be vulnerable or it'll get me killed.
Yeah.
You're a foster kid. That still hangs over you like a cloud sometimes on a bad day. Is that fair?
That's right.
And at the same time, you're grateful for the people who took you in. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Okay. So you live in this toggled world, back and forth and back and forth. And what you have done over the last, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay. The last 3 decades is you got real strong. Real strong. And in counseling, we call it leakage. And that's a dirty diaper term, but the reality is this. You can deal with that stuff, or it will deal with you. It will come out in rage. It will come out in anger. It will come out in unable to take a firm next step, and so you end up just shutting down. And shutting down, you think of like one of those machines at the dump that crushes cars. It just presses down your feelings and your emotions and your relationships. Another word for that is it will depress everything.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at.
That's where you are. That's exactly right. So I want you to know 2 things. Number 1, your body's working just like it's designed to. And you can heal. And you'll be able to take a full breath again if you choose to. The choice there starts with sitting with your wife one night after your kids are in bed and looking her in the eye and holding both of her hands and saying, I didn't let you grieve this. I didn't let you cry, and I'm sorry. And then following that up with, I don't know how to grieve and cry, and I feel like if I start crying, I won't ever be able to stop. And what you're going to do, it's completely counterintuitive to enter a fight on your back, right?
Yeah.
And the only way through this is through connection and relationship, and the only way to connection and relationship is through being vulnerable and being honest and saying the words, I hurt, I'm scared, I'm sorry. And those aren't 3 words that have served you well in the past because you've had to be really tough to navigate a really hard road, right?
That's right.
Do you love that woman?
Yes, I do.
Do you trust her?
Yes.
Now's the chance to turn it all around.
I think something's wrong with this guy's engine.
When you connect, you'll be
There's a
able
lot
to
of
breathe.
exhaust for
You'll be
a
able to
truck
sleep
that's
for the
not
first time in
carrying
4 months.
It's a lot of freaking exhaust. I think coal is being rolled at me. What are your thoughts, HAKKO? Is that a bad engine, or am I being rolled with coal? Also, what is that license plate? There's no license plate on that vehicle, is there?
Maybe there's one in the front.
But in the back, isn't the back one the one that you're supposed to have legally?
Yeah. I don't know. One of them has to be up there. I forgot which one.
I'm pretty pretty sure it's the rear. In New York, it's both. Driving below the speed limit because he lacks a license plate. That's illegal. Yet I would not want to draw attention to myself if I were driving illegally. But I think you're drawing attention to yourself by driving below the speed limit. That's a lot of exhaust. It's blue too. How is your exhaust blue? Catalytic converter has exited the chat. Ford F-150 0 to 60 tons.
I have no idea. You know, something's wonky with that car. For sure.
That's right.
And when she says, "How can I help you?" and you're honest with her, you'll be able to breathe and sleep. And when you ask her, "How can I best serve you right now? How can I help you grieve? Because I know we're going to grieve differently." And that doesn't mean you got to cry on the floor and kick and scream and write poetry to yours. That doesn't. Everyone grieves differently. But you got to be honest about what you need.
Well, howdy there, people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about Biden's poll numbers and Trump's activities and what that may mean for the midterms and the 2024 race. The big news is that Biden's poll numbers have slipped. They are below 50% approval for kind of the first time. He hit 48, and that seems to be the general consensus right now, is 48%. The right-wing pundits are pushing that as a sign that it's, well, just the end of the Biden administration. The reality is that Biden's lowest poll numbers are 1 point below Trump's highest. Now, that's the reality, but the perception within the Republican circles is that Trump is still this energizing force, and he is to some degree. That's true. There are many candidates who won't be able to win a primary without Trump's endorsement. But one of the most energizing impacts that Trump has is negative voter turnout. He's like Hillary Clinton. People didn't show up to vote for Biden. They showed up to vote against Trump. So while a Republican candidate may not be able to win a primary without Trump's endorsement, they're
In
probably
1
not going to
mile,
win
turn
the
right
general
onto
if
Vermont
they do.
279.
Because it makes it very easy for Democrats to run ads showing the 6th, showing all of his statements related to the public health issue, his less than accurate statements about the election, stuff like that. The belief in that echo chamber is that Trump is a driving force, that the majority of Americans support him. The reality is the majority of Americans never support him. He never broke 50% approval rate. Biden falling a little bit below Trump's highest approval rating ever isn't quite the sign that many people may be looking for. It may end up being that it encourages
driving him behind
Trump
you.
loyalists to be
He's
more
going
vocal
38 and a 50.
in their support, which may swing midterms and the 2024 election to Democrats. If you are somebody who is looking at this in just the term of ideas rather than people, the idea of Trumpism, it never got sold. It never got mainstreamed. People never really supported it, a majority of Americans.
Now turn right onto
Going back to
Vermont
it, calling
279.
it as it's a victory, we're just going to win no matter what, because less than 50% of people support Biden. I don't know that that's going to play out in reality. It's probably going to have the exact opposite effect of what Trump loyalists are hoping. It may swing even more votes to Democrats because he's going to be more energized and more vocal and more visible, which makes it easier for Democrats to tie into that negative voter turnout that he generates. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
I get tons of people that don't like Dave Ramsey because there is a segment of people in our culture that don't like to be told that they can win. If I tell someone that is
In 1
hell-bent on
mile,
being a
take
victim,
the Vermont 279 west
That they
ramp
can
on the
win.
right toward US
They
7
don't like it.
North, Rutland.
it makes them mad. Don't tell me I can win, because then that takes away all my excuses. It takes away the fact that I might have to deal with the person in my mirror. And if I convince you that your category, whatever category you've stuck yourself in, I'm skinny, I'm fat, I'm man, I'm woman, I'm black, I'm white, I'm purple, I'm pink, I'm Latino, I don't know what I am, I'm from the north, I'm from the south, I have this or that, I don't know what your thing is, but I can tell you after 30 years of doing this, I've met one just like you who made it. And if you want to live in the soup of your self-pity and in the soup of your victimhood, you're going to not like Dave Ramsey. So personal finance is 80% behavior.
Now
It's only
take the
20%
Vermont
head
279 west
And
ramp on the right.
once you get that dialed in, then you're in a place to go, okay, yes, there's outside variables. Yes, sometimes there's mean people in the world. Yes, sometimes there's racists.
In 1,000
Sometimes there's
feet,
sexists.
take the Vermont
Sometimes there's
279
whatever.
west
It's-
exit on the left toward
There's
Troy.
jerks and foolish and ignorant people everywhere. They're all around us. And yet, it's still your job to control what you can control, and they're not one of the things you can control. You can control the person in your mirror, and then you become successful. But, is it easy? Well, crap, no. If it was easy, we would not recommend
Let's make it
successful
lower.
people.
Make
So-
it lower.
Last summer,
Lower?
I guess it was last summer, we had at our Entree Leadership event, one of the sharks from the Shark Tank, and he and some of his folks and some other friends of mine all got together at my house for a big dinner afterwards. We ended up sitting on my deck and talking until the wee hours of the morning. It became, that night, lifelong friends, I'll just tell you. I
In 1,000
just love
feet,
this guy.
keep left to
And
stay
I
on
heard he
Bennington
was doing a new
Bypass
project,
west
an
toward
audible
Troy.
project, and I got him on the phone because I want you guys to know about it. So, America's Shark, you gotta love him. Damon John is with us. Hey, my friend, how are you?
What's up, brother?
Now keep left to stay on Bennington Bypass west.
And yes, it was an amazing experience being with you and your family and everything. So really good to hear from you, man.
Well, it's good to hear from you. I'm excited about this project. So you're going to tell people how you built a $6 billion brand called FUBU. I mean, we get to see on the Shark, and that's small potatoes compared to FUBU. And you did this, man, started, $40. You are a rags to riches story, and you overcame some crap, without a doubt, to do that. I mean, you got misunderstood, abused, and betrayed, and everything else, and still pulled it off. And which normally happens to all of us, but sometimes people think that line of success doesn't include that much manure, but it did in your case, it did in my case, for sure. That's one of the reasons we became fast friends. But talk about this new...
Albany Supercharger.
Yeah. So the Audible original, and so there is no book to this that has now become an Audible. This is purely an Audible original, greatly produced. It is talking about my days that I founded FUBU, what I went through, all the things that all the things that happened to me, good, bad, or ugly. A lot of behind-the-scenes stories, such as you start having money come around, there's bad people and good people to come around. I think they know that for your listeners that they can learn from is the community that was built. The same way, we're seeing too many communities that are fighting because they're apart. We're not getting enough of the good stories of people like who listen to your show. They couldn't care less about other people's color, gender, and race, and all that other stuff. It's about communities you build and really how we ended up growing and how I made a ton of financial mistakes. A ton, meaning closing FUBU 3 times from 89 to 92, running out of the first $100,000 that I had, and almost being homeless, and then blowing around $20 million when I first made money. And I think that's important for people to learn too, because fiscal education and responsibility is something that you learn every day. You keep growing. There's no way to just arrive at it. And I think that a lot of your listeners can absolutely take away from those big mistakes that I made. Thank God I'm still here after making those mistakes.
What was the best financial decision, best 3 decisions, best 3 habits or disciplines around money that you developed that you attribute to being able to stay on top of it?
I think living within my means and understanding that. I think understanding credit.
Drive southwest
and I also think probably in general understanding how money works from a taxes perspective, from interest, and understanding how to allocate it accordingly. And I think all 3 of those really kind of stay in tune and align with each other. But you're going to say 3. I think there's going to be the 4th one is also the investment. Being able to not only have to go out and work for my money, but letting my money work for me. And not taking as many chances as, I took in the past because I had money. I made my most ignorant or my most uneducated decisions was when I had the most money. That's when I made the biggest mistakes.
Well, you kind of get fat and sloppy. We all do, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like, that little bit don't matter. That little bit doesn't matter. I got it. And all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I don't got it.
How many of the shark deals are paying you money right now?
Welcome to New York, Erica. Almost as well.
Yay.
I would think that around 3 out of 10 I make a profit on. Probably 2 out of because 2 out of 10 are kind of
drive southwest
kind of trying to figure out who they want to be when they grow up, and then the other 5 out of 10 they just didn't work out. They I don't want to talk bad about the entrepreneur. Maybe it wasn't their time, but they made bad decisions or they didn't educate themselves enough.
There's a 3-hour audible project called Founding FUBU. You can listen to it at DamonJohn.com. Is that right, Damon?
Stay in this shitty state.
Absolutely.
All right, be sure and check it out, guys.
High property tax, high normal tax, high debt. Like, you're trading one shithole for another. It would be a different lifestyle for sure. it doesn't really change a lot of the reality.
Ruth in San Antonio. Hey, Ruth, what's going on?
Oh, well, I'm a go crazy person and have your book. I've listened to it a couple of times. Recently, back in January, I was taking care of my mother who had dementia for 2.5 years. Unfortunately, she developed COVID and passed away in January. And I'm trying not to get upset.
Oh, you're good.
I'm the executor of the estate, and I have 2 siblings that are making it very hard for me. They're, you should have done this, you should have done that. And recently, they're accusing me of stealing money from my mother. And I'm not really sure how to handle it. And like I've requested bank statements so I can go back and say, oh, look, here's where this money is, here's where this money is. And it's kind of funny because for 2.5 years they said nothing. No one ever came to see her. It was up to me to take her to see her. And now it's, well, And so that's kind of my terrible story.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
yeah, I'm so sorry. So, Ruth, a couple of things here. Number one, I'm so sorry about the loss of your mother. Have you had a chance to exhale and sit in that?
I have good days and bad days, and yesterday was a bad day because I had to hang up on her because she was telling me that she hoped I could live with myself and that God could forgive me. Pray for God to forgive me for what I've done to the family. And I'm like, I took care of my mother. It's not so bad.
So, listen, you are not solving a math problem. This is not a forensic issue. I'm going to give your brother and sister the benefit of the doubt and say that I'm going to assume they are struggling with guilt over not being there for mom, that they are heartbroken that their mom's gone, that every time they see something on TV about another COVID death or another 1,000 COVID deaths, that brings up mom, and they are choosing, unfortunately, to channel that guilt, anger, and sadness, and heartbreak at you. You deserve that.
They haven't taken that.
And again, I'm giving them the high benefit of the doubt. The low benefit of the doubt is they're jerks, and they're complete scumbags, and they went and had a drink one night together and thought, hey man, let's get our hands on some of mom's money. I don't want to go there. But you can go get bank statements and do forensic accounting and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't spend my energy on that unless they sue. What you're trying to do is prove yourself to you. And you don't need to do that. Often when people are taking care of folks who have dementia, you watch the most important person in your life slowly slip away. And it's really painful because it's like a slow motion accident. It just slips through your fingers. And it's almost a slow motion trauma, right? And it weighs on your personal relationships, your finances, your time, and you live in fight or flight for a couple of years. And then you finally wake up and you realize your identity is different. You don't know where you are, what I should be doing, because I've been having to keep somebody else alive and okay for the last couple of years. And that's why I ask you, have you sat in it? Not in your brother and sister situation, but in, I lost my mom. And it's heartbreaking. And then the 2 people that you would hope would rally around you are not. They're forming an alliance against you. You find yourself.
That John Deere tractor fucks.
It's really sad because there's no gratitude at all.
I know, but listen. You're using your grief and your sadness, and you are looking for people to channel that. What I'm going to ask you to do is to forgive your brother and sister, stop responding to them, and move on. Your mom chose you for a reason. It may be just what we're seeing right now, why she chose you. Because she knew they were immature and they were not people of integrity. So she chose you to handle the estate. Have you done right by that estate?
Yes.
Have you ever stolen a dime? Did you honor your mother in her last few years?
Yes.
Then I want you to go to sleep with peace in your heart. Your brother and sister no longer get a vote. And that's hard to say. They no longer get a vote. I want you to forgive them and stop taking those calls. Stop taking the abuse. Stop giving yourself other jobs in order to make people who are not well and they're taking crap out of you to try to make them happy because you're not. It's throwing water into an endless well. You'll never fill it up. You did right, Ruth. And now it's time to grieve your mom and then come up with the next chapter of Ruth's life. which unfortunately is not going to include your brother or sister for that time period.
Yeah, Ruth, I have to tell you, I have.
Oh gosh.
Pretend it's Blackberry. Why did she make those meows at you?
I don't know. It's very strange.
Why do you make fun of her for doing it instead of helping?
What to me? How can I help her?
You should be helping your berry.
How? You gotta ask yourself, why does she do that? Why does she freak herself out? There's nothing there.
Proud of you. Ford truck with big mirrors. They really do make those trucks look like a bull. They're designed to make you want to buy it for aesthetic purposes rather than designed to make you buy it because you need a truck.
Yeah.
It's quality because it makes me want one. I have no fucking need for a Ford F-350 diesel. None at all. Like, there's no point. I don't even respect it for what I use. I mean, you know, it's just a gas guzzler. And I don't carry things. I have no need to carry or trail anything, ever. The biggest thing that I will ever carry is Oreo or you. Probably Oreo. But when I see what it looks like, it's so aesthetically pleasing, it's like, damn, I want one. I don't want it because it's a Ford, found on road dead. I don't want it because it's a gas guzzler. I like my electric. I don't want it because even if it was electric, it's going to use a lot more energy for no reason. Because it's huge, but it looks cool. Like, they got that styling down. Ford knows how to make you want a truck. It's aesthetically styled to have to look like a bull. What are you looking at?
No.
Let me know when you want to stop somewhere. Unless it's a place to buy maple syrup. Anything with more maple syrup.
I'm not buying more maple syrup.
Speed. Gran Turismo. What do they put in windshield wiper fluid to make it get rid of bugs that are on your window? It's supposed to be formulated to get rid of bugs. It's something that's not Windex.
I don't know, but whatever it is, it's poisonous.
To bugs or to you?
To people.
Potter Hill Barn. It's a barn. Twist the grip. that shit?
Off-roader.
Is that an army vehicle?
I don't know. No, it's one of those things you go into the mountain with.
Why are Chrysler minivans so popular? Why are Chrysler minivans so popular?
No idea.
What is that giant truck?
Rustic furniture. Damn.
Giant Dodge pickup truck facing the wrong way. What do you think of this tiny New York State town?
Okay.
Town Fire Rescue. Pittstown Methodist Church. What do you think of Pittstown? Do you like
Okay.
Pittstown?
It's okay. Kind of looks like the other stuff we've seen in other states. I just saw a Trump sign to our left.
The Trump sign in New York State. Were you for Trump 2020, Erica?
Hmm?
Were you for Trump 2020?
No.
Me either. He fucked up so much. It's a deer.
reservoir. Wow. Jeez Louise. Can you auto steer for a second? Look, to your left.
Always afraid of trusting auto steer on a two-way road. Jeez, yeah, that's gorgeous. That is a beautiful looking lake. This guy really loves his tailgating. Coming soon, new electric sign. LOL. Coming soon, electric sign.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have anything to advertise besides the fact that the new sign is going to be coming. You have lawn signs for family court judges.
I love how they advertise it. Dino's Eatery. They said last stop to eat for 8 miles.
They're really not selling you on quality. They are not selling you on quality there. We have farmlands to our left? Chevy Malibu.
Video rental.
State Highway 7. Look at this beautiful highway arc. Come out. Where's that aquarium? Doncaster Legislature. Free key. That looks like the police. Or is that a construction guy pretending?
Oh yeah, that looks like
Ambulance.
looks like fire. Maybe fire. Ambulance model.
What's this to our left?
Veterinary hospital.
giant penises to the right. Did you see that?
Carrots, tomatoes.
The tomato farm. Look at all the area for Oreo to graze. Look at that. He can have miles before he ever saw a bird. I really just want to see what Oreo would do in a field like that. I just want to drop him in at once. Not have him live outside. Would you be open if he was on a harness and just letting him, just leaving him in the middle of that field just for like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I just want to see what he does. Like, does he run and graze in slow motion? Like two lovers running to one another?
Yeah, and then afterwards it goes.
What is all that noise? Erica? What is all that noise?
Maybe all the stuff in them. Stuff in the trunk or whatnot. Also this, maybe my Taco Bell.
Definitely a Taco Bell.
Now bear right on Tahusic Road.
I missed my hold. I've been following this car for a really long time. Ready for something neat?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
25 minutes there. Dodge. They have a police car.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Dodge Chargers and Challengers are always
You can be
strippers.
intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of BMW as the status symbol of choice. This hour is going to be devoted to America's largest legalized fraud,
Student loans.
timeshares.
Oh, here we go.
The timeshare industry has milked
He's been going on
primarily
timeshares for a
middle
while
and
now.
lower income Americans completely dry to the tune of billions and billions of dollars with unbelievably fraudulent sales tactics, offering and promising things that they never deliver, including an asset that is not an asset. An asset, by the way, by definition in financial terms, is something that you can sell and people will give you money for it. Your couch is more of an asset than a timeshare is, because somebody might actually buy your used couch. No one will buy your timeshare. It has absolutely no value. It has as much value as your reservation at the Days Inn. You want to try to sell your reservation at the Days Inn? Nope, nobody wants to buy your reservation at the Days Inn.
Oh, Days Inn.
The only difference is the Days Inn's actually there. And people actually do get to sleep there occasionally. That would be the difference. If you have had a timeshare horror story, we're going to devote this hour to giving you a voice. You get to speak. You get to tell your story. Call right now. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. I want to hear your timeshare horror stories, and there will be a warning to unsuspecting people that otherwise might go in the tiger cage. If you haven't heard, the tiger cage is this. You're walking down the street innocently one day, and a guy runs up to you and says, "Hey, we're going to give you free passes for the entire year to the zoo." In order to get those passes, though, you need to spend 2 hours in the tiger cage, petting the tiger. Warning, the tiger has not been fed in several days, and he's a wee bit greedy and hungry. And so you go into the tiger cage and you pet the tiger for 2 hours, which of course means you get eaten. This is what going to a timeshare presentation in order to get free tickets to anything is. You're going in there, they're going to keep you in there 4 to 12 hours. They're going to badger the ever-loving crud out of you. They're going to use every technique and form of pressure on the planet. And suddenly your idea of, I got a free room while I'm on vacation, I got free tickets to the water park while I'm on vacation, has turned into the meeting from hell. And in order to just be set free from the tiger cage, you will sign anything. One of the worst among the timeshare companies is the largest, Diamond International. Courthouse News, Ventura, California. An 81-year-old man claims in court that Diamond Resorts International, a timeshare club, defrauded him of $50,000 and keeps trying to get more. Lewis Wolf claims Diamond Resorts International Club and 6 affiliates used high-pressure sales tactics to in his name, run up bills on them before the plaintiff even realized the cards existed, and charged him more than $50,000 for, quote, membership services in Diamond Resorts International entities. Wolf sued Diamond Resorts on March 8th in Superior Court. He claims the abusive sales pitches on the phone and in person could last 4 or 5 hours, and despite the $50,000 they already took from him, he says they continued to harass him for upgrades to his, quote, membership. He's just a senior with the sort of normal cognitive challenges that comes from being an 81-year-old senior, Wolf's attorney, Eric Ridley, told Courthouse News. Ridley said his client is typical of many people his age and susceptible to high-pressure sales, which can be overwhelming. Get this one. Diamond International sends buses to senior communities to take them to Nevada. And once they get a name, there will be a non-stop barrage of phone calls. One Diamond timeshare owner told Morganson Diamond is much more ambitious and aggressive and downright nasty in their sales presentations. Diamond just has an amazing reputation of being rough on people. They reported $845 million in revenue last year, according to the Times article, which cites 2 other lawsuits similar to Wolf's, one in Florida, one in
cities instead of
California.
sites.
So, maybe you're like the
It's like he's had the same thing for lunch that I
81-year-old
did.
Lewis Wolf. Or you know someone who is. Or maybe you just went in the tiger cage and you've had an experience. Some of the stories are downright funny. The bizarre behavior of some of these timeshare salespeople. They are some unusually scummy people working in an unusually scummy business. You don't like me calling you scum? Well, I'll help you. You won't be scum when you go get a job where you're not ripping people off. You're right there with payday lenders. You're scum. You're screwing people and you know it. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your grandmother should box your little ears for behaving the way you're behaving, selling this crap to people. It's ridiculous, and it's out of control, and it's a horrible product. I hope I haven't been unclear. If you've got a story, you call me 888-825-5225. Mari is with us in Akron, Ohio. Hey, Mari, tell me your story.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me on today.
Sure.
First of all, my husband Michael and I have used timeshares for over 30 years. So I probably have a little bit more information on timeshares than the average person.
Okay.
One thing that you should know about is, in addition to the maintenance fees, which most all timeshares you are responsible for, if you want to exchange your week, you are going to deal with either RCI, which is affiliated with Wyndham, or Interval International. Now, there is a separate fee to belong to these clubs as well, and that's like maybe $149 a year, depending on how many years you commit to. Then, when you go to exchange your week, even though you have paid your maintenance fees with your own company, you're going to pay these exchange companies $249 a week if you're traveling in the U.S., $299 a week if you're traveling international.
My God, why didn't you just stay at the Ritz?
Well,
would have been cheaper.
Exactly. I'm just explaining to you some of the other fees that people don't even know
Oh, I
about.
know. Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. Hey, I want to hear the rest of your story. Hold on with me through this break. I'll be right back with you. Well, wait, you paid $25,000 to stay at a hotel. I mean, that's what you just did. This is, I mean, come on, people. How in the world did they get away with this? Because we've been letting them. Well, not anymore. They're my new hobby. This is the Ramsey Show. Wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over...
Alt computers. AIT.
It's a timeshare hour as we talk about America's largest legalized fraud. One company, Diamond International, doing almost $1 billion a year. You know what a billion is? That's 1,000 million. That's a lot of people getting ripped off. All right, Mari is with us. She was telling us that she's been buying and dealing with, wait a minute, I did something wrong there. Dealing with timeshares for 30 years, and she's talking about the fees for the exchanges, the annual fees, and then the exchange fee per company and per transaction to change. That's if you can get a week lined up. And I had to cut you off in the middle of a commercial there. So tell me the rest of the story, Mari.
Okay, well now I'm going to tell you about somebody who has done this for 30 years who should have been a little bit smarter.
Uh-oh.
But in February of 2018, we went to Vallarta Gardens for a presentation. This is in Mexico, just north of Puerto Vallarta.
Uh-huh.
And, we were in the tiger's cage, and we did not purchase, held firm, no, don't want it.
Well, you already owned some timeshares at that point, right?
Right, and we've bought ours off the secondary market.
Okay.
But yes, we had owned. But, nope, we didn't want this. So these timeshares are famous for you're not getting out. You've got the exit. It's almost like the exit interview, but then, they bring you in something else. Should have known better, Dave, but I paid $8,100 for travel package. It was supposed to be like on the lines of Travelocity where you're getting like bulk airfare. You can do things with like Viking cruise
In 1,000 feet, then right onto Color City Bridge. Then stay straight to take the Route York 7 ramp.
The company, we bought it at Vallarta Gardens in Mexico, but the company was a United States company, Getaway Travel Services in Nebraska. And I even talked to them when I was in Mexico, saw the website, everything looked good. Well, here it is, 2021. I have not been able to book any trips with them, use airfare, nothing. I do still hassle them to this day, trying to get the $8,100 back. I went to the Attorney General for Nebraska. They couldn't do anything, but this week I did let them know that 20 million listeners would be finding out about their company.
Good. Very well done. Okay. And so the name of this ripoff organization again is what?
Getaway Travel Services.
Now they're right onto Color City Bridge.
And what they really mean is, now that we got your $8,100, would you just get away?
Now stay straight to take the Route York 7 ramp.
I am sort of a person that, I'm just going to harass them.
Yeah, I would. I would have $8,100 messing with him to no end.
In 1,000 feet, keep left to stay on New York 7 west toward Schenectady.
In Nebraska.
No, in Puerto Vallarta.
Well, down there it's a little bit different. That's why I was glad.
Now keep left to stay on New York 7 west.
Yeah, no, but if a tourist happened to be looking through a tourist magazine and one was going to wander into the getaway travel tiger cage and they saw your ad that said, I got screwed by getaway, stay away from them, get away. You know, that might be fun. I don't know, you can have all kinds of fun with this. You might as well, because you've been taken. There's no question about that. I'm so sorry. Hey, thanks for sharing the story. As a warning. Douglas is with us in Los Angeles. Douglas, tell us about your timeshare mess.
Okay, well, we've been timeshare owner for 5 years, and we thought because that timeshare was not a good money investment, and we went ahead and did it because it was the first time our whole family, or our family, our kids and myself saw my husband relax, and our kids are in high school. So this is the first time we relaxed. So we went ahead and did it.
It turns out that the trip is when he relaxed, not a timeshare.
Well, we've gone on trips before, but this place is just really relaxing.
Oh, I see.
I'm sure there's other places, but anyway. We went and July 2019, we upgraded from a presidential to a penthouse suite.
Wow, that must be nice.
And
how was the suite? Was it nice?
Yes, it was very nice.
How many times have you stayed in it?
Just one, because we've only upgraded once.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, anyway, this last trip, at the beginning of this month, they put us in a presidential suite, thinking that we had a presidential, but really we had a penthouse. So we wanted to upgrade, we wanted something bigger for our next vacation. So we met with a salesperson on our own will, unfortunately, and we asked her for a copy of our contract. We asked her twice.
In 1 mile, take the Interstate 87 south exit on the left.
And she left the table twice, both times returning to the table without anything in her hand. And instead, she confirmed that we had a presidential contract, and that's the one that we signed in 2018, which is now void, or which is void. So, she basically bought the amusement. I mean, she tricked us into thinking we had a presidential when we all the time had a penthouse.
You'd already paid for the upgrade once, and then you paid for it again.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So I just wanted your listeners to be aware.
Which company is this?
This is
now take the Interstate 87 south exit on the left.
Grand Del Mar. They have 4 properties. 3 of them are right next door to each other, and then there's a brand new one out a ways. And I just want everyone to realize what we did do is I had a lawyer help me with the letter. We wrote a letter to the manager, the sales manager, who's still there, and he's American, and he's the one who sold us in 2019. So we emailed him. We FedExed a letter that you have to have a signature for. They don't have certified mail down in Mexico, and within 30 days, if they don't respond favorably, we will, the letter says we will contact
take the Interstate 87 south ramp
Bureau
on the
of
left
Las
toward
Vegas,
Albany.
which that's where their financial handling company is. And we will open a case with the Mexican Federal
Now take the
Consumer
Interstate
Protection
87
Department, which is
south
called
ramp on the left.
HAKKO. So I don't know how this is going to end, but because we just FedExed a letter yesterday. But I want your listeners to be aware that, you know, we asked for 3
That you can tell a timeshare salesman is lying if his mouth is moving.
Yes, and we were, you know, she was an expert. She got our trust from the get-go. We shared family stories, pictures of her kids. I mean, it was just, and you know, so from now on, I mean, we learned. We learned.
Cheaper than a hotel.
You know, even if we can just recoup even if we give up our deposit and we don't have to pay the rest of the contract, I mean, we'll be happy.
Yeah.
I know that sounds awful, but we'll
No,
be
it doesn't sound awful. It sounds like you got screwed and they should let you go. I mean, that's what fraud does, even in Mexico. Go figure. Wow. Amazing. What a scummy, scummy business. Wow. This is the Ramsey Show. Timeshares this hour, and what a horrible thing they are, and what horrible people work in that business. It's absolutely out of control. Diamond International, Westgate, Marriott, Wyndham. Diamond being purchased now for billions by Hilton. So Hilton's going to go ahead and mess up their name by buying the largest timeshare company out there that screws more people than anyone else.
Hilton's buying a timeshare company.
See, what happens is people buy these things for
no more Hilton, no more Hampton hotels,
and they're almost never able to actually.
You know,
use
Disney
them.
does timeshares too, right?
Yeah, but they're not scamming. Even Dave Ramsey will say that well, he doesn't advise timeshares. Disney's or at least not a
So how do
scam.
you know Hilton's not going to be scamming?
Because they bought a scamming company.
AARP put out the 10 costliest scams to the elderly. Number 1, romance scams, 83
In 1
million.
mile, take exit 2 on
Number
the
7,
right onto
timeshare
Route 5
sales,
East toward Ogden.
17 million.
Timeshare card.
Number 10, timeshare resales, 12 million. $30 million a year that the AARP estimates is being stolen from the elderly. Scams is what they called it. Scams. Go figure that. Man, something else. Stasia is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Stasia. Is it Stasia or Stasi? How do you say it?
It's Stacia.
Stacia. I didn't even get close. Sorry about that. How can I help?
Well, thanks for having me on your show, and thanks for having this.
We're in Albany.
I think it's an important
This is where Mr.
segment
Cuomo used to.
to help get the facts out there to people
anymore,
that
though.
are listening on this program.
No more.
So, back in 2001, I received an offer in the mail. This was one that I couldn't refuse, right?
Yeah, right.
I think it was for $450 for 5 days and 4 nights, including a rental car, and it was at a Marriott property on Maui. How could I pass that up?
On Maui?
On Maui. So I knew that a timeshare presentation
Now
was
take
included,
exit
so my
2
eyes were
on the
still
right.
open.
I think it'll make
I
it.
had friends that had timeshares, and they seemed to enjoy it, but we never really talked about the money part anyway. And I'm strong. I'm not going to buy a stinking
Go ahead, little
timeshare. I'm just
Elon.
going to enjoy and treat my mom to an unexpected trip to Maui, right?
Right.
So
Why are you beeping?
until I bought, or I was on a segment, right?
Yeah.
And,
So you went in the tiger cage and you got eaten.
oh, yeah. So as I was preparing for early retirement, I put it on my list of things to do to get rid of the annual expense. You know, I could spend the money going elsewhere, and getting to Hawaii from Florida was way too much travel. So I kicked the can down the road
In
because I listened to your
500
program.
feet, turn
Now, I'm
left
not
onto
saying that you
wolfeboro.
advise procrastination. I just heard all the horror stories, and so I procrastinated because I didn't want to deal with it, which is very rare for me. So over the years, I did simple math to see if I was getting the value, but I corrected my simple math when I started sending information to your show, and I learned that my simple math was really me lying to myself, and I didn't want you to catch me and ignore the truth. So my original
Your destination will be on
$10,900 every other year to stay in Maui, and then I upgraded to their point system. I think that was around 2011.
500 feet,
I guess
your
I imagined
destination will be on the right.
children were going without shoes and food or something. I don't know what I was thinking. But that upgrade was $2,000. So by this time, I'm in it for a sunk cost of $12,900.
Yeah, there's one right in front of us.
Oh, beautiful.
The charger is on the left.
Every year for an every other year program, and that started at $450 in 2001, and it ended at $1,300 in 2020.
Whoa!
In front of you.
And in that time frame,
This property is falling apart. All that maintenance.
Well,
right in front.
Now turn right onto Colony
Wow,
Center.
it's a red meme car. And a black meme car. And a blue meme car. I want a red meme car.
Now your destination is on the right.
Oh, this is going to be horrible.
To that one.
This is going to be so slower.
This is the one where the lock is.
There's so many meme cars here. You mean this one?
Yeah, that one right there.
The one at the end?
Yeah, that one.
I'll take the one at the end, Erica, for $500. Is that somebody with a subwoofer? Playing loud music?
Can't tell. Yeah, sounds like it.
I gotta use the bathroom so bad. So, I think you need a mask because we're back in the state of New York.
I got one.
Remember to eat with your mask on, Erica. Let's see if you remember how this works, Erica. Hit the button. It attacked you. That's so.
There we go. Let's go.
What? Oh, never mind. It said stop charging. Come on, you mofo. Make sure it works before I go in and get food. Ouch. We went to the wrong one, Erica. This one has no power.
It has no power?
It only gives you 120 kilowatts if there's nobody there. Since there's 4 or 5 other cars charging, it's slow as shit. You have a mask? God bless. There's 2 miles from here if that one winds up being a slow piece of shit. It was a roll of the dice as to this one or the other one. A bad roll. I am the eye of the tiger.
I gotta use the brush.
Me too. I'm thinking of starting an OnlyFans. What do you think?
No.
Why not?
You can do one. Go for it. I'm not doing one.
Why not? Yours would be better than mine.
No, yours would be better than mine. I only get about 200 people viewing my video.
Are you familiar with the yellow pee-pee monster on YouTube?
40,000. Huh?
Are you familiar with the yellow pee-pee monster?
Yeah.
He got deleted 12 years ago.
Oh, good.
Actually, more than 12. It was like 13 or 14 years ago. CDC guidance currently recommends that vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals wear masks while indoors. Yeah, give me a mask.
Huh?
It's on the sign. What do they do, Eric? We're no longer an obedient coconut. I gotta see enough shit, Ross. We're upstate enough that there's enough people that ignore it. There's enough Republicans here.
Straight ahead.
All right. I don't know what here is, Erica.
No, not either.
I never heard.
See.
Yeah. Did you grab it?
No.
Are you gonna grab it?
No. I have sentry mode on.
No, just put the laptop away. I don't want your window getting broken.
Alright. This is an emergency. My laptop is in the back seat.
Oh, look at this. This is really cool.
Come back in and get food in a moment.
Yeah, no. Crazy. That's so crazy.
Erica. An idling engine. Look at Sears, Erica. Rip. That's crazy. Survived 110 or 120 years, only to get destroyed by Amazon. Nobody dares break my tinted window, Erica.
Give me the towel underneath. Here. Let me do it. I'll do it. I'm skinny.
What are you implying? It can be closed now. It's done uploading its stuff.
Take this. Bag.
What about my backpack?
Huh?
What about my backpack?
Carry it with you.
Why? There's nothing in it that's much.
Yeah, but I don't want anyone to break into your car. Like, you don't need bags in the back. That causes people to want to break your window.
It's a Whole Foods parking lot in upstate.
Yeah, but don't.
We're not in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but you don't. I don't need anything. Because I've seen countless things where people, like, they see a backpack and the first instant they do is bash your window with. It's not worth it. I would say put it in the trunk.
Yeah.
If the trunk is full.
See what happens when lots of people use charger? Some are 120 to 100 to 240,000 watts. This one's only 59. Because you have many people using much charger. We'll get a meal and we'll continue on our way, Erica. There's also a cheesecake factory here in case you want that instead of Whole Foods. I know that you... Damn, what a pile of rust. I wish I knew what every time I see that I get triggered. Even though car rust has nothing to do with like board corrosion, it activates the same part of my head. I just want to like, cover it in flux and heat it every time I see that. Flux, hot air, flux, hot air. More Amtech flux. More hot air. Starting wage, we get to 15 an hour, 20% store discount. Remember to get a lock because Jess's area has no restaurants open tonight.
They have what? We're not going to stay in Jess's area, are we?
What?
Where's no beef? I love beef. Oh, it beef too. My bad. Okay, here we go.
There's so many things around me with carbs that are so tempting, and I'm ignoring them all. F you carbs, F you.
Yeah, but look at mine.
What is mine there?
Mine. Beef stew, zucchini, salad. It's called, you know.
Salt mines of Asheville, North Carolina. This should be a good 2 meals. What's this? Oh, it's dressing. What's a Thousand Island dressing?
That's a like big mountain box.
Thousand Island?
Yeah,
Avocado sounds good, but I don't like vinegar. So I imagine vinaigrette would be more. I'll take this as is. I don't know. 2 meals worth. One for now, one for tonight, since Jess's area doesn't have a lot of food.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah, this is 2. Just in case there's nothing there.
How this goes, and then we all order more food.